Welcome back. BBL Sports Talk, Big Boys League, episode 14.
We back.
Had to get into the wife's side of the fridge tonight. It was all out of the Modelo's. Shout out Jed, he's got one. Massive win for the Lions this weekend, but bit of a cost. We lose Hutch. We will get into it.
R.I.P. Hutch. We love you, dog. We'll be back. We know that.
All right, gents. Welcome in episode 14 at BBL Sports Talk. Going to kick it off a little different this week. There's going to be a new segment that we'll be kicking every episode off with hot takes of the week. Last week, we asked some of the listeners to drop their hottest takes in the comments. We're going to pick a couple, break them down, take a couple minutes to break them down, and we'll tell you if you're crazy or if we agree with you. So Jet is going to take us into this segment. What do you got for us, Jet? He picked the hottest takes that the listeners submitted. So
yep,
I don't know what they are
these
yet.
These two were pretty hot. They're good. I'll say that. First one, should the Chargers be in top 5 Super Bowl odds? They're not currently, but this listener is saying that they're a top 5 team in the NFL. The Chargers.
Who's this listener? I just want to know who this is because I want to. Is it someone I know?
I believe. I don't know if we should be exposing.
No, we don't have to do that.
Takes are coming from.
That is definitely a hot take because it pisses me off. They have a top 5 coach in the NFL. Look how they got a damn good coach over there in LA.
He was gassy. On Sunday.
Whoever said that, do you want them to be in the top 5 odds? If that's your team, you don't want that. Take them now, wherever they are. They got to be.
Oh, this guy bet him preseason.
Who would this be? I have my guesses, but yes, hot take for sure. What's the other one, Joe?
Well, Slim, you got something to say on that?
Yeah.
No. My bad. Slim, I'm sorry, Slim. We talked about making it shorter, and I'm just rushing right through it. All right.
That's a hot take. I love Jim Harbaugh, but I can't get behind that take. But to Stark's point, heck of a bet. If you believe they should be top 5, take that bet right now. But I could probably list 12 teams that I would bet before the Chargers. So yeah, hot take. But shout out to that man. All right, what's hot take 2?
Making me think now, buddy.
Yep.
Whoever said that.
Hot take number 2. Should Michigan bring back Don Brown?
I know.
My God!
I guarantee you I know who said this one. Yeah,
Did Jet?
I know. I won't expose this man, but you know what my answer is to this one, Joe?
What?
Yes.
Ooh.
Bring back Don Brown.
Engage 8.
Engage 8. What do you think about that, Adam?
Michigan has Don Brown 2.0. Like what? We don't need to bring him
Don
back.
Brown?
He's Wink. He's literally Don Brown 2.0.
Yeah.
Question.
What if you had Wink and Don Brown on the same coaching staff though?
Who has more aura?
Wink.
You cannot tell me Don Brown doesn't just spew aura in the locker room of a football team. Come on, I'm with this guy. I feel like this guy is a great golfer. He's a good dude. If I'm right, Joe, am I right?
You're wrong.
Oh.
Don Brown. No,
Don
Brown.
It's not that hard of a take. We need an identity change.
Well, I feel bad for saying this. This guy could be a great golfer. Actually, he is a great golfer and he is a great guy, but it's not who you're thinking about.
Nope. Great golfer, great guy, Joe. No, that's not him.
I will just say
that
I
was
lost
some spicy hot takes.
I lost half an inch on my hairline when Don Brown was the defensive coordinator of Michigan, and I feel like I'm trending that way with Michigan this season. Like, if Don Brown was a defensive coordinator playing Ohio State, you would see Josiah Stewart in coverage on Jeremiah Smith. I do not want that. Absolutely not. So I'm going to – two really hot takes.
They would never see that coming.
Yeah, they would never see that coming. Two hot takes. Segment off to a hot start. I like it. Keep them coming. Drop the comments below. Sound off in the comments. And we're going to pick, like I said, we're going to pick 2 a week and break them down. But I cannot get behind either of those hot takes. I like it.
Kind of like them both. Now I'm thinking about Chargers. Now I'm thinking about the Chargers.
Stark's going to go place a future on the Chargers.
Jimmy Harbaugh. What if he went back-to-back years? He went NCAA championship, and then the following year wins a NFL Super Bowl? That would be
what
cool.
if it comes out that he was giving all the players PEDs, back-to-back asterisks?
Just king of the cheaters. They didn't cheat at Michigan. I'm going to just go out and say that. We're not talking about him over. They did not cheat. Stallions
You are
just
fake
brilliant.
news.
That was directed to Jet. All right. Segment 2 of the night. We're going to get into segment 2 before we start breaking down ball. And this is a new segment we're going to be doing every week, the Who's Who of the Week. And it's going to have to do with the sports landscape and what happened over the weekend. I can start us out tonight if you guys would like. And here is my Who's Who of the Week. We're going to go to college football. Happens to do with a primetime game. It was a crazy game, went to overtime. Is Lane Kiffin the Ed Orgeron of James Franklin's?
Wow. Wow.
Dude, these just mess with my head so much.
So let me break it down for you.
It stresses me out all day.
Let me break it down for you. Is
You,
Lane
write it
Kiffin
down.
the Ed Orgeron of James Franklin's? He can't win the big games. Look at his record as a head coach. Anytime they're in a big game. Ole Miss in a big game. I thought this was the year that they would break through. And unfortunately, they're sitting here with 2 losses. Anytime there is a big game, his team is unprepared. They cannot pull it out. They blow the lead down the stretch. Very James Franklin-esque, but people love him. No one puts the heat on Lane Kiffin the same way that they put on James Franklin, and I think they're the same coach, which is why he is the Ed Orgeron of James Franklin's. All right, Jet, what's your Who's Who of the week?
Yeah, my Who's Who of the week. This is, I don't think this is a hot take at all, but is Jordan Love the Tobias Harris of Dak Prescott's?
I hate this segment.
And let me break this down for you real quick. 'Cause I think Tobias Harris is just average in all sense of the word of, getting like a big contract and not doing anything special. And I also think that Jordan Love and Dak Prescott all fit the same boat. So I'm thinking that these just are guys with big contracts who aren't going to do anything.
I love how you guys are trying to be very serious explaining these. They're so so.
I can't wait to hear yours because
I'm not. I might not share mine. Mine's so dumb. I don't think I can. I was gonna share with Adam before because I was so worried how stupid it is, and now I have to go laugh. I don't think I'm sharing it.
Well, then you also have to remember you don't have to stick in one category.
I'm not gonna explain it.
Okay.
That's fair.
Let the
Joey,
listeners
I like
decide.
it. I can buy it, Joey.
Thank you.
I can buy it, and I think
I buy
let's
Joey's
see.
too, and that's why I'm
Let's see.
intimidated because he made that make so much sense.
Let's hear it, Stark. What's your Who's Who of the week?
All right, I was on a way different wavelength. I was going in honor of Hutch. I was gonna say, is Aiden Hutchinson the Tiger Woods of Larry Birds? And I'm leaving it at that. I'm gonna let.
All right. Next segment.
Next segment. Break that one down. in the comments.
Uh,
Sorry. I thought about that all day long.
That's a good one.
What do you mean?
No, it's not. It's not a good one. All right, next segment. Sorry, guys.
Oh, that is actually, Stark, that is the perfect segue to our next segment. Because I want
Which
to talk
is?
a little Hutch. And we're going to go from Hutch into the breaking down the Lions game this week. But I would like, you know what, I'm not going to say too much, but I have some expectations for us in this segment, and I hope that you guys are on the same page as me. We're about to find out. Hutch obviously goes down, snaps his leg in half. J.J. Watt said it in a great way on the Pat McAfee show today. What a badass way to snap your leg if you're going to do it during a sack and you finish the sack. Literally, Dak Prescott literally falls on Hutch with his leg snapped in half after Hutch sacked him. But just brutal blow. I can't stress enough how important Hutch is to the Lions defense. For the listeners out there, I don't know if you guys know the stat, but take Hutch on one side and the rest of the Lions defense on the other side. Sacks, 7.5 to 7.5. QB hits, 16 to 24. Pressure percentage, 17% to 7%. I mean, this is a massive blow to the Lions defense. And so I think we're all going to be in agreement here that you can't just roll the dice with the guys you have in the locker room. You have to make some type of move. You got to bring somebody in. There's no free agents out there. It's going to probably have to come in the form of a trade. So I want you guys to go first on this. But if you're Brad Holmes, what is your move here? And give the listeners a name or two that you would be eyeing in the trade market. Jet, we're going to start with you.
I'm just going to steal everyone's thunder real quick and say that there are only three that we want. The obvious one is Crosby. I think everyone said that on Twitter immediately when it happened. Then Myles Garrett, which Stark brought up last week. That would be a phenomenal one, which fits our cap better than Crosby. And then Hassan Reddick is the one that's kind of been blowing up recently on Twitter because I believe Campbell said that Holmes was making the call for that one. I think I saw that today. So those are three obvious ones, but there is something else that I want to get to here. Who remembers the first hot take in BBL history?
I was going to bring this up. Today, and I still stand pat on what I said there.
Picks. 3 first-round picks right now. We could go get anyone we wanted with those.
No thanks. That's who I want.
You want who?
Hutch.
You want an injured Hutch?
He'll be back.
I mean, you don't know that.
Yeah, I do.
But I hope he is back. I hope speedy recovery. Obviously, our defense is going to be in shambles without him. Hot take for myself here. I don't think we go get anyone. I don't know. I have a really bad feeling we don't get anyone, and I'm going to get really pissed.
Stark, I want to hear your takes and give us some names or a name.
I firmly disagree. Yeah, it hurts big time. We lose the best pass rusher in the league. He was on pace to break the record for sacks. Love the man. He'll be back. He will be back.
I'm gonna fact check you out there. I don't think he was on pace to break the record for
He had 8 sacks.
Maybe pressures, not sacks.
Well, he was gonna break the record. He might not have been on pace, but he would have broken the record. Now you threw me off my train of thought, Joey. I don't think they need to go make a big move. And here's my thought with that is, and I've said this, I think, on BBL. I think it was early episodes. It's been proven that a Brad Holmes draft pick is worth a lot more in his hands than it is anywhere else in the league. I don't want to see him get rid of that. I want to see him – this team can win without Hutchinson. Might sound crazy, but he is not the only strength on that defense. If that was the case, they wouldn't be winning games. And I just think that the linebackers have showed so much, and the cornerbacks and the safeties looked great last week, and we'll get hopefully Melifonwu back at some point. I don't know. I just think they win it. They can very much still do the same thing we thought they could do. It just might look a little different. They might have to put up a lot more points. Think about how they've been playing. They've been running the ball down people's throat, which we've been asking for, and they've been doing it, and it's been working. But if their defense isn't going to do as well, they're going to have to just play a different style of offense or just adjust to it. The coaching staff is so good. This team is stacked. Everyone who quickly panicked, like I had some people texting me saying like, "Oh, season's over. Oh, I feel like sick to my stomach." I don't understand. I get it. If you feel sick to your stomach because Hutch got hurt, yes. But this season is not over. If you think this season is over, get lost. Right now, get lost. If anything, this will motivate them too. And this team motivation is fuel to the fire for them. So I'm sorry I'm spewing a little bit, but I kind of got pissed last week when everyone went to the media like, "Oh, season's over." No chance the season's over. They're going to figure it out. They will be fine. Even after he left that game, they got pressure on the quarterback. They picked him off again. I don't know. Pisses me off, Adam. I don't like it. They don't need to make a move. Keep the money in-house. Keep your draft picks. Continue bringing good young players that you're not paying a lot, and continue to rotate through the system. I would love Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, but if you do that, you're going to lose 3 or 4 of these young guys when it's time for them to get paid. So, sorry. It's okay, everybody.
All right. Two different takes. So what I was going to say at the beginning of the segment, and I was like, I didn't want to spoil anything before you guys gave your takes, but I was hoping that here on BBL we could live in the realm of reality. Crosby's a name that's been thrown out. Myles Garrett is a name that's been thrown out. If I could pick any player in the NFL to put on the Lions, it would be Max Crosby. If I could just pick a player, plug him in on the Lions, it'd be Max Crosby. Myles Garrett is up there for me. But we need to live in reality. First of all, I don't know if we can afford Max Crosby. If you look at the cap hit, the numbers, I don't know if we can afford Max Crosby. Second of all,
we've got $32 million in cap space. He's with $31 million.
Okay. So it could work numbers-wise, but to Stark's point, then how do you extend Hutch? Because you got to do that in a couple years. How do you extend a guy like Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch? I mean, JMO potentially. You know, like you would be
Gibbs.
blowing up. You'd be blowing up the young core, and it would be Super Bowl or bust if you made a move for Max Crosby. I don't think that Brad Holmes would do it. I think it'd be stupid. And then if you're the Raiders, why would you trade Max Crosby? That's the other part of this too. Is I don't think the Raiders would trade Max Crosby. Same goes for Myles Garrett. Go ahead.
The only reason I think they'd trade those two guys is if they were so unhappy and they could get something for them. Go ahead. Never mind. Go ahead. Continue.
Okay. I don't see it. I just don't think it's realistic that Max Crosby would be traded, although that is my dream. Myles Garrett, on the other hand, could be on the trading block, but you have to look at it from Cleveland's standpoint. The dead cap hit, if they trade Myles Garrett, would be brutal. It would handcuff them. And then the other point is you would have to give up quite a bit to get those guys as far as draft capital goes. So let's live in reality and throw some names out there. Jet, you mentioned a name that I mentioned the moment it happened and Hutch broke his leg, which is Hassan Reddick. Very capable pass rusher. Not happy in New York. A little worried about the culture fit in the locker room. He had issues in Philly. He's obviously got his issues going on in New York. But I feel like if there is a place, I feel like Detroit's becoming the New England Patriots of the 2000s, where you can bring any type of attitude or person into the locker room and they'll fit in because the culture's so strong. So I don't worry too much about the culture fit. I think Hassan Reddick is a name to keep your eye on. Brad Holmes made a call to Hassan Reddick's agent today. So, Jet, you did read that right. I don't think Campbell made a comment about Reddick, but it was reported. Jeremy Fowler reported it, that Holmes did reach out regarding Reddick. Very capable, highly productive pass rusher. He's got 1 year left on his deal, and I think it would come down to this. Would he be willing to come to a team and play out the final year of his contract, or is he going to require an extension for that trade? But I feel like the cards are in whatever team deals for him. They've got all the cards because Hassan Reddick is losing money every single day that he doesn't play. And if he rides this all the way out, his value is going to be significantly lower than if he were to get traded to a contender, produce, make a deep run in the playoffs, potentially go to a Super Bowl. So I really like the Hassan Reddick fit as far as a play style goes and what he can bring production-wise. The other name that I'm going to throw out is Azeez Ojulari. I have no idea if I'm saying his name right. I'm probably butchering it. But really capable pass rusher for the Giants. They obviously have a crowded room, really good defensive line. Burns on one side, Thibodeau on the other. And I really like what he brings to the table. Cheap. You wouldn't have to give up a ton to get him in Detroit. And that is a name that I would not complain about. And I think it makes sense. Again, going back to my initial point, Crosby and Garrett are obviously the dream lands here, but I just don't think it's realistic for the Lions to mortgage the future, go out and get one of those guys when a Hassan Reddick is on the table or Azeez is potentially on the table as well. But we're going to find out pretty soon. We've got, 20-ish days till the trade deadline? And I think I want to get you guys' opinion on this. Here's what I'm scared of. The Lions win this weekend. Then they beat the Titans. And then they feel like we're good. We don't need to add anything to the room because we just beat the really hot Minnesota Vikings. We're 2-0 without Hutch. And I'm worried that you get deep into the playoffs, NFC Championship game, and you can't get pressure on the quarterback, you don't have a premier pass rusher, it's going to be a lot harder to win those games in the playoffs. So that is one little worry that I have, is that the Lions look really good over the next couple weeks, and they stand pat, don't do anything. I think they need to.
I do want to make a quick counterpoint. I do think they need to as well. I obviously don't want to jeopardize the young core, but from a management perspective, I guarantee this offseason there was a conversation with Ben Johnson saying, we are going to go win now. And I think that with Hutch going down, he's got, this is his last year. You know, the Cowboys game was like him putting his resume on national TV, doing all those trick plays and everything. I really think that he's going to be the head coach of who's ever the highest bidder next year. And I think that management is ready to, I don't know, I think that they could totally sacrifice our future with, going to sign or, picking up Crosby or picking up Myles Garrett. One thing with the Hassan Reddick thing that I wanted to mention, in his trade with the Eagles to the Jets, they put a clause in there, he can't be traded to the NFC, or the trade that they did for him, it was a third-round pick, it then goes to a second-round pick. So he is a lot less likely to be traded to the NFC than he is the AFC. So we would have to offer more for Hassan Reddick, obviously, because they are now offering up a second-round pick instead of the third.
It's a great point. Great insight. Actually, I did not know that. Yeah, I did not know that on Reddick.
I'm going to add something
go
here.
Ahead.
I saw something today that said, I think Campbell said that whatever happens, Holmes going to do his homework. And I think at the end of the day,
that's what I read.
At the end of the day, we are in a position where we can just sit back and let it happen and trust what's happening. There's not we're not in the times of drafting tight ends in the top 10 and twice in 5 years. That time is gone. I think we're able to put our 2 cents in and say this would be cool. But at the end of the day, whatever they do is the right thing. So I hope they look really good the next 2 weeks. I hope they kick some ass without him and they move forward like in a way that they maybe change the identity a little bit and it's not centered around the pass rush and it looks something like something else. But I don't see them getting Reddick. I think that's a culture, something that wouldn't fit, and I don't want them to. Joey, to your point, I don't think there's any chance in hell they're going to sacrifice the future that much for Ben Johnson's like last hoorah. And
Oh no, I'm saying I think they will. I think
you think they will? I'm saying I don't think they will.
I think that they.
I think they're
want
trying to build
Super
a
Bowl.
dynasty here. I don't think this is a let's get out of town quick. I think this is a dynasty being built, and the way you build dynasty is to draft well, bring in players that fit a system, and fill the spots. You're gonna, you got your Sewells and your Amon-Ra's, but don't. I just think they can do it without making this a big move. I want the picks. Give me all the picks.
So you're
I'm just saying.
anti-F them
I
pick
don't know.
strategy. Anti-F them pick strategy.
Yeah, I am anti-F them picks because look at what
I
his
am
picks
too.
have produced.
I agree.
I mean, we're gonna lose some players to these upcoming contracts, and if you add someone and want to sign him, you're gonna lose many of them. So,
Yeah.
I was talking to some guys the other night, and they were saying like, who are you gonna be okay watching let go? And a lot of them are saying Kirby Joseph would be the guy, like maybe the most replaceable. But I'm telling you, like if you bring in a Crosby or Garrett and expect to keep them, you're gonna lose like 3 or 4 of those guys, and that's something I'm not willing to lose Williams and Gibbs or whatever to that. So they can do it without. They can do it. It might look different, but they can do it.
All right. Well, Jet, do you have any more points on Hutch before we move into the preview?
Pre-Hutch injury, Lions were plus 150 to win the North. They are now plus 140. Pre-Hutch injury for them to win the Super Bowl, they were plus 1,000. They are now plus 850. Obviously, that's because of a dominant win over the Cowboys, but him being out really did not have any effect on the Eagles.
Very
Just
good
hurts my
stats.
feelings more than anything.
Yeah, I was sick to my stomach. Not because I thought the Super Bowl chances were off the table. It is still Super Bowl or bust this year. I think, can we all agree that? It's Super Bowl or bust? Even without Hutch?
Oh, 100%.
All right.
No,
deal.
I'll never say that.
Yes, it's Super Bowl or bust.
It's Super Bowl or
No.
bust.
What does it mean? Like if they don't win, are you not gonna be a fan anymore?
No, it means
No, I'm
that
just
the
saying you
season
gotta
was
be
a
all in.
failure if they do not win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, all in on the Super Bowl for sure, but
No, you're happy with making the playoffs.
no, I'm taking it 1 week at a time. I'm not worried about that. The other thing is,
Stark's trying to go
if
1-0
we want to be a
this week,
good
all right?
team, we're gonna lose our coordinators. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to lose coordinators if we're a good team, by the way. So that's like a good thing. If you lose coordinators that had coaching jobs, like that's a good thing. Means you're a good team. It's Dan Campbell is the heart and soul. You see the locker room video of Jared Goff giving the game ball back to Dan Campbell?
Love
That
it.
was sick.
Oh, God, it was
Love it.
awesome.
All right, last thing I'm going to say, this has nothing to do with Hutch, but we kind of talked about this last week, but as a podcast, I think we're all in agreement here. Robert Saleh will be the defensive coordinator of the Lions next year. Go ahead and lock it in. I feel confident in saying that.
Yes.
But, all right,
I wish I could.
let's
bet that. Somebody
I know,
find
me
that
too.
bet.
Me too. Yeah, if anyone knows any sports books offering that, let us know. Drop it in the comments so we can place our wager. All right, let's get into the preview.
Call me asparagus.
All right, we are going to preview the upcoming game. Lions go to Minnesota. For the first time all season, they are dogs. Getting 1.5 on the road. Obviously, don't need to go
Lions
too
are
much
dogs.
into. Yeah, don't need to go too much into Minnesota. They're 5-0, coming off of a bye week. I would say they're the surprise of the NFL. I don't think anybody expected Sam Darnold to look the way that he looks. The offense is chugging. Brian Flores has a insane scheme on defense, and they're playing at an extremely high level. Huge game. First divisional matchup for the Lions. They go into it. It's their first full game without Hutch. What I want to know is who are your guys' X factors this week? Who needs to play well for the Lions? Who's going to make an impact on this game? Jet, we're going to start with you. Give us one or two X factors this week that you're really keen in on and you hope has a big game or you expect to have a big game.
I have two. One is such a square pick, which is why I had to go with two. But Jared Goff, I think that our defense is going to get just torn up, and I think that Goff has to play a perfect game for us to win. And then second is Brian Branch. I really do think our defense is going to get torn up, and I think he needs to make some big plays. I think we got to have like one big turnover to win the game.
I like it. I've got two X factors. They're not yours, but there is an offensive and a defensive. We'll start on the offensive side of the ball. My X factor this week is JMO. Minnesota's defense, crazy blitz packages, a ton of man-to-man defense. They play a lot of man-to-man, so we're going to need some man beaters. Who is – now, Amon-Ra can beat a man one-on-one. I mean, we all know that. Amon-Ra is one of the best route runners in the league. But who is the one wide receiver in the Lions locker room that is actually unguardable in one-on-one coverage? That's JMO. And you have to unleash JMO this week. I'd like to see JMO on some crossers. Get him involved in the screen game. And they've done it more this year. Not just sending him out on go routes, but utilizing him more in the passing game, kind of short to medium distance. But I think if the Lions want to win this game, JMO has to have a massive week. So I will be watching JMO on the offensive side of the ball. On defense, my X factor is Terry and Arnold. I trust Carlton. I think Carlton will do a decent job on Jay Jettas. You're never going to shut him down, but I trust Carlton to step up and play a decent game. He's going to have safety help, and maybe that's where Branch comes in and makes a couple big plays. What I'm going to be watching is, can Terrion do a good job on Jordan Addison? Can Terrion do a good job on Naylor? These other wide receivers that are putting up numbers for the Vikings, because the Lions are going to double team Jefferson probably every snap. I expect that. And it's going to be Carlton with safety help on pretty much every snap. So I think you're going to see Terrion in a lot of one-on-ones, and I think they might try to pick on him, especially with all the penalties that he's gotten so far this season. So if the Lions want to win, I think Terrion's got to play his best game to date in the NFL and as a Lion. Stark, I hope we didn't take all of your X factors. Do you have any on top of those?
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing real quick. Amon-Ra is my X factor on offense. He hasn't been quiet, but I think in a game like this, Minnesota's defense has been really good. Not great against the pass. The Green Bay game, they got torched in the second half. Absolutely torched. So I think Goff, like Joey said, that was a good pick. Amon-Ra is mine. JMO obviously can have a huge game here, but Amon-Ra can control a game when he's making his secure catches and they're kind of pumping the ball to him. So I think he's mine. The running backs, I think, could get – this might not be a running back game. I think I could see this being a little more of a aired out. Defensively, I'm going to go with Lee McNeil. It's going to be weird, but I think he's going to be our best chance for some pressure on a regular basis. He's a monster. They just paid him. I think we can expect him to get some pressure and get some sacks. They need someone some people on the I know I just said don't go get anyone, but we need someone to step up. We need a name to step up. Where's James Houston? Now we need you now, James Houston, more than ever. Please come back and show yourself. But the thing with him, I was thinking about this the other day. I used to be obsessed with him. Like when he was just coming onto our team and he had that monster like short spurt, and I would like watch his clips, and I saw someone say his biggest advantage, he's small, he has so much bend in his ankles. Like he would bend around bigger offensive linemen and go like under them, and he snapped his ankle that year. So I think that might be affecting his like number one. Because I was watching, he looked slow, and so I don't know. He was my guy. I thought he was gonna be the next best thing after Hutch, but I was looking into it a little bit. I think that ankle injury could really affect him for the rest of his career. So I might lose a little hope on that now. Just some info for the listeners on Houston.
Yeah. Yeah, he barely made the roster. I mean, he was one of the last guys to make the Lions roster this
They
year.
have to have that last sense of hope for him. It is sad because he got hurt on a kick return. Ugh.
I know. 8 sacks in his first 6 games as a Lion. Came on the scene.
Remember the game against Chicago? He looked so fast.
He was unreal.
God, it's devastating, dude.
He was unreal. Well, all right. Well, good deal. I mean, yeah, this is the game of the week. It's a 1:00 game, which I like. I like. We kick the day off. I don't have to wait all day. Be anxious and nervous all day for the Lions game. But 1:00 game. It's in Minnesota. We're gonna give our picks at the end of the podcast when we break the picks down. But yeah, man, it's gonna be back and forth. I'm really excited for it. Divisional matchup. A win this weekend would be massive. Massive en route to winning the North. So
my last thing, I'm gonna say one more thing. Darnold did not look good last week. He threw for like 170 yards with a pick and fumble. He's not a good quarterback, guys. He's not. I'm sorry, I hate to say this, but Sam Darnold's not a good quarterback. So this could be a big win. Another big win.
London doesn't count.
What?
yeah, the overseas games. Yeah, it was the London game. The overseas game, I usually give people a pass.
Football, man. Anytimes, anywheres.
Here's what I will say about Sam Darnold. You guys remember the very beginning of this podcast, I said to watch out for J.J. McCarthy to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He was supposed to be the quarterback in Minnesota.
Yep.
Kevin O'Connell might be the best offensive mind in the league right now. I mean, and Ben Johnson's right there. I mean, that's why I'm excited for this game. But look at what O'Connell was able to do last year with Josh Dobbs and Nick Mullins putting up 500 yards on the Lions. It was unbelievable. And so I just think, is Darnold a top 5 QB in the league? No, but he's better than Nick Mullins. And so it scares me. It scares me a little bit. But to your point, at some point, Sam Darnold's got to make a Sam Darnold move. He's got to make a stupid throw. And I hope Brian Branch or Kirby Joseph are right there when he does. And I think this game could come down to the turnover battle. So Jet,
come back?
Iffy should be coming back soon. But again, I mean, we're getting high-level safety play out of Branch and Kirby Joseph.
Really good safety play.
Jet, I hope you are right. And I hope Brian Branch, BB, comes through with a couple big ones this week. All right, gents, let's get into the picks of the week.
Let's go.
All right, quick update. We're going to start with college football, then we'll get to the NFL. To date this season, I'm in the lead, 23-12. Jet, you're in second place at 20-15. Stark, you're not too far behind at 18-17 up to date on the season. So we all got winning records. If you're following us, you should be up money. Season-long competition. Loser has a punishment. All right. Really good slate of college football this week. And the games that we're going to start with are here close to home, and then we'll get to the big boy games. I hate that we pick Michigan every week. I'm sick of watching Michigan football. But first game of the week, Michigan coming off the bye. Jack Tuttle is probably their starting QB this weekend. They go to Illinois. Illinois home dogs. Michigan laying 3.5. I will go first here. I'm not going to give you too much other than I refuse to lay points with Michigan this year. Give me Illinois plus 3.5. Stark?
With you. Never. Illinois plus 3.5.
Jet.
Joey?
This game's gross. Don't bet it. Save your money. Put your money on Dune 2 to win Best Picture of the Year at plus 650. But if I have to, I'll take Illinois plus 3.5.
Oh, I love that. I have not seen Dune 2 yet, but need to watch it. All right. Let's stick
I haven't
in
either.
state. In state with Joey's Spartans. Iowa, Cadillac Cade coming to town after dropping a bomb on Washington last week. Dropped 40 points on offense. Iowa comes to East Lansing. Iowa favored by 5.5. I will go first here as well. I'm going to take the home dog. I do not know if Michigan State wins this game, but I do not trust Cade McNamara and that Iowa offense. I think Michigan State coming off of the bye week, maybe Childs gets some things right. Night game in East Lansing, Spartan Stadium, electric atmosphere. Give me Michigan State plus 5.5. Jet.
It's homecoming, I believe. So yeah, give me the Spartans and the points. Once again, this is like a scratch-off ticket. You never know what you're going to get with them. But I hate Iowa. I'm going to root for the home dog, my Michigan State Spartans.
Starkey.
Give me the Spartans. This might be a get-right spot. They had those 2 real tough games in a row. Bring it back down to earth a little bit. I mean, it's tough to judge them off those 2 games. I think I might have been being harsh. Watching those 2 teams play each other, they're good. And State had them back-to-back. So I don't think any other team in the country had a tougher back-to-back schedule than they had that last 2 weeks. So something tells me it would make them better. So they might come out of those 2 losses looking better. So I'll take Spartans for sure on this game.
Hey, good teams win, great teams cover. Michigan State did cover out in Eugene, so that has to be said. All right, then we get to a great slate this weekend. I can't wait for it. We are going to be picking Miami, who is my pick to win the ACC, traveling to Louisville. Miami laying 4.5, another home dog. I am going to stick with the trend. I think Miami wins this game, but I think it's a nail-biter. I think it comes down to the last second, potentially a field goal at the end of the game. I'm going to take Louisville in the points here. Something looks a little off with Miami the last couple weeks, and I don't see them putting a complete game together. So give me Louisville with the points. Jet.
Yeah, everything in my body screams take Louisville, but I'm going to fade myself for some reason here. I also picked Miami to win the ACC. Cam Ward, I think that he hasn't looked the best, but I don't know. I think that everything clicks and they play really well this week.
All right, Starkey.
Do you remind me who we're picking again?
Miami.
I was looking at stat.
Miami
Sorry,
at Louisville.
Sorry. I'm going to take Miami here. They're a very good team. I like when people say, oh, Miami hasn't looked right the last couple weeks. Not saying just you, Adam, but I have seen some haters of Miami. Louisville's not, killing people. And I do believe they have a bad loss on their schedule. Pretty good team. But I think this is a game where Miami shows their true colors. And, college football is different now. It's a longer season. So I'm looking at a team like Miami. I think you just keep winning, they'll cover this game. I do think they're a legit team. Cam Ward's a legit player. Give me Miami giving up the points.
All right. Now we get to the good stuff. Bama at Tennessee. Another home dog. Bama laying 2.5 on the road. Both of these teams do not look good the last couple weeks. Tennessee coming off of the upset loss at Arkansas. I expect them to bounce back last week, and they looked atrocious against Florida. Bama looked shaky last week coming off of their loss against Vandy. So kind of 2 sputtering teams meeting in a big rivalry game. Gut says take the home dog here. But I am going to be taking the better quarterback. Give me Bama minus 2.5. Jalen Milroe has played in big games. I don't think he's going to be struggling in that environment. And this is Nico Amphinolevia's first big game as the quarterback of Tennessee. I don't know if he's built for it. So I'm going to take Bama minus 2.5 here. Jet?
Yeah, I think that this is going to be just such an awesome game. I'm very excited to watch it. I love Nico Amalivia. I really hope that he balls out on Bama. I don't think it's going to happen, but I have to root for the home dog here. Give me Tennessee. I think that Heupel's better coach.
Fair. All right. Starkey.
I'm also going to take Tennessee at home. Nico's a young quarterback, so this scares me in a big spotlight. Like Milrow's been in big moments, so it's not something to worry about. But we don't. Who is the better quarterback in this game? Do we know yet?
No.
No, we
He
don't,
wears
Joey.
crimson.
We don't. So
He wears crimson.
he's a good player. I like Jalen Milrow, but I like Nico a lot. Give me Tennessee, man. I like these dogs this week. I might have to cook a little parlay, little underdog parlay. I like the dogs. I like Illinois. I like Michigan State. I like Tennessee.
Yeah, you guys have gone all dogs.
What can
so
I
far.
say?
You guys have gone
Yeah.
all dogs so far. All right. Game of
Not
the week.
Miami.
Not
No,
Miami.
yeah.
True. True. I like the dog in that game. I'm on an island the last two, so we'll see. Someone's gonna have a good week this week. We just don't know who yet. Game of the week in Texas. SEC matchup. Still weird to say. Georgia traveling to Texas. Texas laying 4.5. This line is moving a ton, but at the time of recording this, it is 4.5. This morning it was 3.5. Moving in Texas's direction. I will start. I think Texas is the best team in the country. They're my pick. Well, I didn't pick them preseason, but they are now my pick to win the national championship. I think they're the most complete team. I think they have potentially the best quarterback in the country. But with that being said, this is going to be an awesome game. I think this is going to be back and forth. Give me the Bulldogs. Go Dogs. Horns down. I'm going to take the dog in this game. Jet, what side are you on?
Is it weird that I don't think Georgia's that good? I don't
No,
know.
I'm with you, Joey. I'm with you. I don't think they're very good.
Every week I'm expecting them to start blowing some teams out, and it just has not happened. I think their best game was versus Clemson, and they had a good second half. I don't know if you remember the first half. It was bad. It was not good. They looked awful versus Kentucky. I don't know why I'm not a believer in them. I think Texas is by far and away best team in the country. I don't know. I don't want to say by far and away. I think there's three teams that can win it all. It's Texas, Ohio State, and Oregon. But I think Texas throttles them.
All right. We're on opposite
I'm with
sides
Joey.
again, Jet. We're on opposite sides again,
I agree with
Stark.
Joey. Texas is going to throttle them. Georgia's not that good. This is going to be like an exposure game for Georgia. Texas is good. I always go back to Joey's point. Their offensive line is so big. I can't help but notice it now. And I don't see many teams moving that around, and they have an elite quarterback, have elite playmakers. Give me Texas all day. They're looking like a very strong team.
All right. Either you guys or myself is going to have a great week. We're on opposite sides on a lot of games. So,
It was like
4.
this, wasn't it, last week?
We're on opposite sides of 3 of the 5.
I think Kirby Smart plays this clip in the locker room before the game.
Yeah, before he throws a player to the ground.
Yeah.
See, underrated factor
Yeah,
here.
no.
Kirby gets his boys
Is he good?
up and ready for the big game. But, yeah, we have to talk about that shove on the Mississippi State player. I have not seen any type of repercussions from the SEC on that. That was bizarre.
That's crazy.
No, that's crazy. I don't know how that doesn't go unnoticed at all. No one talked about that at all.
I love betting on a
Juwan
coach like
Howard's
that.
pick right now.
Juwan.
Me
Shout out
too.
Juwan Howard. All right, let's take it out to the league, the NFL. I think it's safe to say it is so much harder to cap the NFL. Update on the season. I'm sitting at 14-11. I had a really bad week last week. I went 1-4 in the league. I need to bounce back in a big way. Stark, you are 11-14 on the NFL this season, and Jet is 13-12. Keep in mind though, to the listeners, Jet did go 0-5 week 1. He did start the NFL season 0-5.
Thank you for reminding us.
There was a part of me during that Monday Night Football game that thought, holy shit, are they actually going to tie? I don't know if you remember, I said the Bills-Jets game was going to have
You did. You did say that. And I do want to make a quick statement here because we record on Wednesdays. I gave the listeners Jets. But then on Monday night, I had changed my mind, and I bet the Bills big. So I just want to throw that out there. I did text Jet before the game started. I was heavy on the Bills, and I'm happy to be wrong. I'll sacrifice a BBL pick to win some money. So, all right, but we take it to the league. We're going to start with the Thursday night game, as we always do. Atrocious game. I'm not excited to watch this game. Denver going to New Orleans. I guess there is a cool storyline with Sean Payton going back to New Orleans for the first time. New Orleans starting wide receiver core. Just look it up. You don't know a single person playing wide receiver for the Saints this week. Yeah, and then Spencer Rattler under center. This line opened Saints -1.5, but with all of the injury news, it is now moved to Denver -2.5. I'll go first here. Give me Denver. I just think the Saints are too beat up, and I think Sean Payton wants to run the score up and make a point in his return to New Orleans. I hate this pick, but I'm taking Denver. Stark.
I'm with you. The Sean Payton thing is a big deal, in my opinion, and I think he's a good coach. Bo Nick's been looking pretty good, huh, boys? Huh? I mean, come on. He looks
back
good.
Zach.
We know. I'm a Bo guy.
We
know
back
Bo.
Zach.
We know Bo. We know. I'm taking Denver. Rattler didn't look that bad. There's just not a lot of targets. Rashid, I think, is out, and I think Olave might be out.
Yeah,
So
they both
Bub
are.
means time. I hope Taysom Hill, if he's back, he's going to be utilized. Yeah, but give me Denver. They've been kind of clicking.
Jet.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of have fallen in love with this Denver team. I love the ugly, they're like the Iowa of last year in college football of the NFL. Their defense is awesome, and they're just so disruptive, and I think their offense is so ugly, but I kind of love that. So I'm also going to be on Denver here. I think Spencer Rattler actually did look okay last week, which kills me because I would much rather Hayner be their quarterback.
Yeah, me too. Oh, my God. I love Jake Hayner.
Yeah,
I love Jake Hayner. He deserves to be their quarterback.
Cards of his. I've even got a couple autographed cards.
Jake Hayner's awesome. He's so cool.
But yeah, Rattler actually didn't look that bad. But no, I think Denver wins this, and everyone says Sean Payton's a great coach. I know he is, obviously, from his time with the Saints, but what he's done with the Broncos, how he handled the Russ situation, makes me kind of hate him. But I don't know. I do like the guy.
All right, all on Denver. So let's hope they cover that. Not a BBL lock. This is a disgusting game. We will not be putting this out as a BBL lock, I promise.
No.
This would be on brand for us to do, though, with our locks recently. All right. Then we get to a really awesome Sunday slate in the NFL. We're going to start with divisional rival Packers, wearing their all-white unis, busting out the white helmet for the first time at home. Houston coming to town. Packers laying 2.5 at home. I also hate this game. I don't know what side to take on this game. I'm going to go with the Pack, -2.5. I think this is going to be a really good game. I'm excited to watch it, but give me the Pack. Stark.
Go to Joey really
He's
quick.
thinking.
I'm trying to think of something. Go to Joey
All right.
really quick. Sorry.
Jet.
I will take the Texans. Give me the opposite end of this. I want the points. I want Stephon Diggs to score 3 touchdowns. I need it for fantasy purposes, but also I don't know. I think the Packers are frauds.
All right, Stark, you
All right,
with
now I'm ready. I'm
me or
taking Green
Jet?
Bay.
All right. Stark's
I'm
right
gonna go
with
with
me.
you, Adam. I'm taking Green Bay. Yeah, I am gonna ride with you. If I could pick the over in this game, I would pick the over. I think it'll be electric. These are two really cool quarterbacks, up and coming superstars. Should be a great game, but I'm gonna take Green Bay. I can't really put like a for sure reason as to why I'm taking them. I just feel like it's the better team right now. So.
All right.
Well, Mixon's back, so that changes things. I'm going to stick with Green Bay, but I love what Mixon does for this team, for Houston, so forgot about that. I'm going to stick with Green Bay, but Mixon is an awesome player.
He is. He's good. He's good back. All right.
He is.
Another great game this week. The Chiefs traveled to San Fran. San Fran laying 1.5 at home. I'll go first here as well. I have fallen into this trap far too many times where line doesn't make sense. How are the Chiefs dogs? I got to go with the other side, and I get burned every single time. So for that specific reason, I am done betting against Patrick Mahomes. This line doesn't make any sense to me. I'm going to go with my better judgment here. I'm going to take Patrick Mahomes plus the points. Give me Chiefs plus 1.5. Jet.
Remember when the Saints were playing the Chiefs, and I'm like, "What are you doing? It's Patrick Mahomes. Take the Chiefs." I'm actually fading myself. I'm going with the Niners. They need this win. Like, this win is so big for them. A lot bigger than the Chiefs. The Chiefs actually haven't played that well. I know they're undefeated, but stats wise, on paper, Patrick Mahomes hasn't looked the best. Kelsey, obviously, has he even found the end zone yet?
No.
I
Jared
think he
Goff
found
has
it
more
once.
receiving touchdowns than Travis Kelce does this season.
Boom. Yeah, so I think that Chiefs are a little beaten up, and I think the Niners get up for this game and win.
All right, Stark.
I'm gonna take the Niners as well. Mahomes does not look super right. I don't know. Purdy looks good. Purdy looks really good. He's got a lot of time to throw the ball. The offensive line looks good. I don't think it matters who plays for them in running back, because that Isaac Guerrero guy came in last week and just torched Seattle after Mason got hurt. So I'm gonna take Green Bay, or I'm gonna take San Francisco. Give me San Francisco, please, and thank you. Bye.
All right. I'm on a lot of islands by myself this week, so I'm a little nervous about that. All right,
I'm
let's
just
go to
following
Monday
Joey.
night. Let's go to Sunday night. Devontae Adams wearing the green and white going to Pittsburgh. Jets at the Steelers. Jets are 1.5-point favorites. Steelers home dogs. We don't know who's playing quarterback for the Steelers, but it looks like
I think it's Russ.
Mr. Unlimited is going to be under center for the Steelers. And for that reason, give me the Jets. What has Justin Fields done to lose that job? They are 4-2. And what has Russell Wilson done to earn that job other than play shitty football the last 2 years? I don't understand that. Makes me lose a little bit of respect for Tomlin. That offense is not built for a dude like Russell Wilson. I think you're going to miss Fields' legs if Russ is the QB in this game. Give me the Jets minus 1.5. Joey?
Oh, long time Russell Wilson fan. I think that's where my recent love for the Broncos came in, because he was on the Broncos in that sinking ship. I think that this is setting him up for utter failure. I think the Jets are going to just go all in on this game. Obviously, they need to win. They're 2-4. they should be like I feel like they should be in Super Bowl talks with all the money they've spent, Aaron Rodgers, all the weapons. They just bring in Devontae Adams. And their defense is awesome. I think that their defense is going to make Russ look really bad. And then I think it justifies Justin Fields to play the rest of the games. But I think that's unfair. I would much rather them start Justin Fields because I don't think anything happens. I don't think that there's much difference between the two of their games outside of Justin Fields, a little bit better runner, and I think Russ is a better passer. I would much rather Russell Wilson be on the Dolphins right now. Oh, I'm sorry, Russ.
That'd be cool.
I'm going with the Jets.
All right, Starkey.
This might be the BBL lock of the week. And I apologize for Bowling Green. I'm obsessed with Harold Fannin. It took over my mind, and I'm sorry.
Oh my God!
I was confident in that pick, but we're going to shift over to NFL for those because we were so bad. We can't hit one, so we're going to shift. And if we were to do one, this would be it. The Jets are going to be – they're good. They look a lot better under their new coach. Did I mess something up?
I'm laughing because A, they lost with their new coach, and B,
But they look better. Like, their offense looked better. It did, Joe.
It did.
I don't disagree.
I don't understand why Fields loses the job. I don't think Russ is a good quarterback anymore, and Fields led them to 4-2, 10 touchdowns, 1 turnover. That's the best season he's had stretching any season of his career. I don't get it. Bring him to Detroit. Let him back up. If he's going to be a backup, I would pay for him to be our backup. Not me personally, but I would let them. I would say, yeah, I approve of you guys to, pay him. He's a great player. I don't get it. It's weird. I feel like I have no explanation for it. So, or any understanding. I'm gonna take the Jets. I think they're gonna get right at some point. Devontae Adams. I mean, I don't think that's bad for them at all. I think it can only help them. But defense is good. They're gonna attack Russ.
Bet George Pickens over yards under receptions this week.
Over yards.
I've been loving that bet with JMO. Okay. I'm going to throw that out there. I've been loving that parlay with JMO. Over yards, under receptions. Been betting it pretty much every week. Last note on the Jets before we get to Lions game. As a fantasy owner of Devontae Adams, I am very happy that he is a Jet. I think he plays a major role this week. One thing about Aaron Rodgers, he's not throwing you the ball unless he trusts you. I had some splits pulled up. Allen Lazard, 5 touchdowns on the season. Garrett Wilson, 3. Allen Lazard, 41 targets this season to 60 for Garrett Wilson. The skill level of those two wide receivers is a massive gap, but I think the numbers go to show Aaron Rodgers throws the ball to guys that he trusts. And you see that a little bit, him throwing Mike Williams under the bus, maybe not running the right route on that interception that sealed that game in Buffalo. So I think Devontae plays and has a big game on Sunday night. And I would be down for the BBL lock of the week to be the Jets. But, all right, let's go to Minnesota. Let's talk our Lions. Detroit Dogs for the first time this season, getting 1.5. I'm not going to bet against the Lions. I have bet against them this year. And it was the Tampa Bay game, and they lost that game. But you give me Detroit plus points, I am going to take it. They are rolling right now. Obviously, Hutch injury is a concern. I just think they're too high-powered on offense. And at some point, Sam Darnold is going to turn into Sam Darnold. Give me Detroit plus 1.5. I'll also be betting on money line. Jet?
Yeah, I think you're stupid to bet against the best team in the NFL. Getting points. The Lions are the best team in the NFL. We lose Hutch. I think it's going to be a shootout. There's a chance the Vikings win, obviously. There's a chance any team can lose on any given day. But the Lions win in a shootout.
I like it. Stargy.
Yeah, fully with you. Never going to bet against the Lions, especially this current team. So I'll take the Lions. I can't believe they're dogs.
They're dogs. I know.
Yeah, one other thing that I'll point out. Shout out to a listener, Jacob Mitchell, 10X. Mitch,
Mitch 10X. Shout out to the boy.
Shout out to me. When the Vikings are up in games, they do not run the ball. They continue to throw the ball. And it's been a big problem with them when they've had leads. They had a big lead against the Jets, almost blew it because they decided to not run the ball, and they were throwing the ball, stopping the clock. They did it against the Packers. They're up 28, and they continued to throw the ball up 28, and they let the Packers back in that game. Granted, obviously they won both games, but those games were close when they shouldn't have been. I don't think that you can give the Lions that luxury of, trying to not have the last possession or not run out the clock if they have a lead. I think if the Vikings have a lead and they're being foolish like that, the Lions definitely hammer them live if they get down.
Love it. And you know what
Like
really
it.
sucks? What really sucks not having Hutch. I said the same thing last week about the Cowboys. Cowboys can't run the ball. Hutch was going to eat against the Cowboys and get pressures on Dak. He did. Same situation this week, but you don't have Hutch, which sucks. You can't run the ball against the Lions, and if you're not a good run team, you're really going to struggle against the Lions when they have Hutch. So who's going to step up on the defensive line? But, all right, gents, that's the picks this week. Someone's going to go 10-0 this week. I feel it. We need it. But, all right, with that being said, shout out to all the listeners. Thank you guys. Like, subscribe, follow us on social media. Drop your hot takes in the comments so we can you look through those. We'll pick the craziest takes. We'll talk about them on next week's episode. But we appreciate you guys listening
Or text me.
as always. And
Aiden
with
Hutchinson.
Aiden Hutchinson for the Tiger Woods of Larry Birds.
Have a good night.